Hello once again. This video we're going to emphasize our whole body. One thing to keep in mind as we speak of our body is to remember that, according to our traditional belief, that the body is something that represents more than just ourselves. It represents a piece of creation. It's something that's sacred and something that we should take care of. So next time you think of yourself as something that is disposable, in either way, in the way of an abusive way or a way that can be harmful to your own self, you need to remember that our bodies are, in a sense, are borrowed. They're borrowed and are gifts from the Creator, and we're supposed to take care of those things. In order to know and be holistic about the way we see our body in an everyday sense when we look ourselves in the mirror, it'll be good and interesting for our own life to have that correlation and knowing which and each of our body parts is called in our language. That way we have a whole idea of what we're looking at when we see ourselves in the mirror. Perhaps we can examine ourselves in a deeper perspective if we have our language in mind. So we're going to start off from top to bottom as we're looking at ourselves in the mirror. I don't know about you, but when I look at the mirror, the first thing I don't see is the feet. I see my face and my hair and, my facial features. So we're going to start off with the first thing you see probably, let's say. And this is particularly more for the ladies, but also for the men. The hair, the scalp. One of the first things you see when you look yourself in the mirror. And that will be chonim. So your hair and your scalp, not all of us are gifted with hair in our head. Some of us grow bald with age, I guess, and we lose our hair. But the whole scalp and so choni is hair, and chonim will be the emphasis on our hair and the scalp. Another important feature from our body is our face. And that will be pukhba. Make sure you emphasize that J pronunciation in the middle of the P-U-J-B-A. That's why I believe the orthography of using an H to describe pukhba can be a little deciphering. This can be a little hard to understand, but that's why I believe you should instead put a J to emphasize pukhba. Within your facial structures, you are also going to find your mouth, which can be used for good things at times and can be used to say some harmful things at times. So make sure you use your mouth appropriately. The word to describe mouth and lips and all that structure is teni. Within your teni, you will find inside of it teeth. Not all of us have them. Maybe some of us don't have as many anymore. But nonetheless, teeth in UAII are tanim. Now notice at the end we use an M, tanim, not just tani. Tanim, or that M at the end, emphasizes a plural, as we have many or multiple. Now if you only have one remaining, or in this case none, if you only have one remaining, it will be tani. And if you have none at all, it will be ka tanim, the absence of your teeth. Another important thing that we have within our facial structures is our ears. Our ears in UAII are one ear, naka, two ears, nakam. So for plural, you add an M at the end, and we'll go over certain rules for plurals. That will be in a future series. But for now, if the letter does not end on a T or an I, you add an M at the end. Another important feature is the head itself. The head itself of a person is the kova, the head. And that is something similar we hear in ceremonial terminology when we hear the maso kova, or the deer head, for the deer dancer. When he's dancing, maso kova, the head of the deer. Going down in line, we also find another really important feature within our bodies, that being our heart. Heart in UAII is hiapsi. And like we explained before, hiapsi also determines life. So it's not just a symbol of our heart and our bodies, but it also is a symbol of all UAII life. Hiapsi, meaning heart or life. Additionally, within our body structure, we're going to find our stomachs. Some bigger than others. Mine's pretty big. Stomach is toma. going from the shoulder down into our hands, our elbows, we will find the connected piece from our shoulder to our elbow, and that section in itself is called techom. Techom. Our elbow going up and our elbow going down, up to our blade and down to our wrist. Techom. If you remember from a previous video, depending what order you've been seeing them, Mamni describes 5, Mam describes the palm, and Mamam describes the whole hand, from wrist to fingers. Going down the line, now we're going to find our knees after our stomach. Our knees, since we have 2, remember, 1 will be tono, 2 will be tonom. Along our whole body, I can't remember specifically the whole number, but I know that we have more than 600 bones within our body system. We might not have names for all of them. I mean, our cultures were not one to opening bodies and start counting what you have inside, which is, if you analyze it, a problematic thing, but we're not going to go into what is problematic and what isn't. But to keep in mind that holistic level, we knew we have bones within ourselves. And the word for bone is ota. Ota. Another puristic, sacred thing of the human body, and it's mentioned within Native people, either in a positive or a negative way, is blood. Right? Blood in our language is ovo, ochvo, ochvo. Ochvo describes, in a UAII context, what keeps us alive. Blood is something that keeps us alive within our bodies. Ochvo. That in present days, now how Native people are analyzed on a blood quantum criteria or can become, once again, problematic, but keep that in mind. Be proud of what you have inside of yourself, that blood that keeps us alive. Finally, we reach the bottom section after our knees. After our tonom, we reach our bottom section. That will be our feet. Our feet, or just one feet in general, is wokoi. Wokoi. We have 2 feet, hopefully. And if that's the case, it's wokoim. So after analyzing the whole body structure, we come to the conclusion, and we have to agree, that our whole bodies are sacred. So make sure you take care of your body. You take care after that gift that was granted to us. So I appreciate you taking the time of analyzing that body, and I hope that you do so at home in front of your mirror. That you can look in the mirror, see your mamni, see your mam, see your mamna, and make that connection with other things, not just our hand, the number 5, or the palm of our hand, but make that connection every time you look at yourself in the mirror and identify yourself as an individual that carries a gift from the Creator. Thank you for your time.